people have had enough of that. And it's not just that, it's the conglomeration of all of that is going on all over the world, and this constriction and monitoring of everything and interference with and control of and concealment of information. And I think that humanity is just going to reach a point where it's going to be so fed up with not knowing the truth that we're just going to simply be revolting.
Well, that's a dangerous statement, and I hope we don't have to revolt. I mean, I really see, all this talk of 2012, and we can call it just as profitable as Y2K, because I've got 6 months of food and water, locked in my house.
Yeah.
Flashlights, batteries, I'm good to go. Yeah. And I'm not in fear. I just want to be intelligent, swine flu epidemic. Who knows what the party's going to throw? But for me, I don't want to do any talk of them or make movies about them and then have them follow me more, because that's not me. That doesn't interest me at all.
I agree.
It's been something where I've just gone, ew, please no.
Yeah. But you did very beautifully briefly touch upon the fact that they do exist, and I liked the part where one of the presenters talks about the wheat fields, and he says, and they were so beautiful with the crop circles, and he says, I know that they're sprayed, and they're sprayed to grow, and then they're sprayed to kill bugs, and then they're sprayed to lay flat, and they're sprayed to do something else, and that they are literally covered with chemicals, and then they're cut down, and Earth has no chance to take a breather. They plant another crop, and everything is sprayed, and it just kind of it makes you open your eyes about what's going on, and I think we need that.
And that spray you're talking about is the stuff that turned into the pink foam in my bucket.
Yes, that's pretty scary.
I didn't like it.
No, I don't like it either.
And then when I think of my body going through the tram lines, laying in the crop circles with my hair near the center and all that pink whatever stuff, I don't know if I want to be breathing that and if that's giving me the buzz, but I don't think so. I really think that, again, it's this duality is really being squeezed to the surface now because humanity is evolving, and we are all stepping up our game, and those who are really doing things that aren't good for the planet, I think are going to be brought out.
Yeah, I do too. Because it's a benevolent planet, and it's full of love and connection and interconnection, and you can't pull one cord here and have nothing happen over there. Everything is interconnected. So I think that those who are creating so many of the destructive tendencies are going to be, as you said, they will be called out. We will begin to know who they are and what's happening, and be able to make a more reasonable choice about what we want to live with, what kind of world we want. And certainly,
and when you talked about going into the riot mode, I mean, that's what we really don't want. When the governments start getting exposed and some of the misinformation starts getting exposed, we need to be a really evolved society and not go to war with each other. And, that's the concern of a lot of people. But again, instead of focusing on that, I focus on let's be really good at being ready, organized, peaceful, keep it going in the right direction. I do want to finish the John Whaley story about that fabulous footage. Those two circles, those balls of light, are going over a field, and this guy is at 5 in the morning. He wakes up because there is this sound that everybody talks about when that energy, the balls of light we all believe over there are pretty much satellites off a much bigger ship that's out of our visual spectrum, way up high. These motherships are there, and they send down these little satellite ships, which are the balls of light that people are seeing and photographing as orbs. But when you see it physically, there's this kind of electromagnetic staticky sound, everybody says. And then all of a sudden, some people have actually seen the ball of light right there in front of them, not far away, having a complete telepathic interaction. But the human, typically, when a ball of light is in their field, the human is typically paralyzed. You can see, you can think, but you can't move or speak.
Wow.
And again, I've interviewed tons of people that have had these experiences, and I'm talking about what is most commonly said to me, and they all kind of concur the same thing, which is the sound, and then the feeling of, oh my God, you know, everything in you lights up, which is what I feel when I go in the formations. And then if you're lucky, you can see them. But again, I think the more we look, the slower we go. Starting now, the more we're going to see, because the veils are definitely thinning, especially over there in England where these crop circles are coming down. So John Whaley, how great, is one of these rare people that lifts his camera and hits play and films these two balls of light going over a crop of wheat at 5 a.m., and the wheat goes down into, I think, 5 outside circles, one big center, beautiful, simple formation right in front of his eyes, and he gets it on film.
Yes, yes.
So this ends my crop circle movie, my first movie, and I got the footage from Janet Oostenbaard from the Netherlands, and she had permission from him, and so I kind of used her whole footage, and it's just beautiful. So half the world, millions of people have seen this footage, and at the end of it's on my trailer. But when you look at it, half the world goes, oh, it's a hoax, it's photoshopped. And then the other people say, oh, my God, some guy actually got it on film.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sitting here with my editor. I'm brand new at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. My editor's 27 years old, but he's been editing since he was 13. I like him like that. So we're sitting there looking at this thing, and I said, I got a weird feeling. Slow it down, back it up. He said, why? I said, I have no idea. Slow it down and back it up. So he did it, and boom, right there in front of our eyes, slowed down in reverse, was a communication stripe right between those two balls of light. How could nobody of all these brilliant people that have looked at this ever found that? And now I end my crop circle movie with that finding where I show the typical, you know, the two balls of light take the field down. Everybody's seen it that studies this. But then when I backed it up, I had to show each footage 3 times because I know how we are as people. The first time you're going, yeah, right. And the second time you're going, oh, my God, holy crap. And then the third time you look at it and you go, oh, my God, this is real.
Yes, yes.
So I do it 3 times, and then I reverse it 3 times also. And it's like debunk that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful. It is really amazing, and it's all here for us now.
Patty, what are the messages that consistently come with the balls of light when people are paralyzed and they're getting a telepathic message? Is there any particular message that's being consistently relayed to the people?
Well, to the people is one thing. The messages of the formations is another. My friends that have said that they've had a telepathic communication with the crop circle balls of light have pretty much said that they felt the words that they were hearing were, welcome, we are so glad you're here. We are so glad you have finally come.
Wow.
And that's in my crop circle movie. Janet Oostenbaard got that one in a field with a, you know, she described it beautifully well. And again, all these people have been going since the 90s, year after year. And it was torture not going this summer, but I've been making my fairy film.
Well, I can't wait to see your fairy film. I think that's going to be magnificent because I've always believed in the divas and the sprites and the fairies and the elementals and some people say that they have a tendency to leave areas that are highly concentrated with people because of the energy. But we live in the country, and I think that we can communicate with all of those different forms of energy.
Well, I agree with you. And I think that the way we call in the divas and elementals is to just go out and sit and be there and talk to them.
Yes.
And ignore your friends and family that are saying, Patty, trees don't talk. Or,
right.
Patty, stop talking to the wildlife. I mean, I see a squirrel, and I just stay there until they're done with this conversation.
Yeah.
I have all these noises. And
yeah, me too. Me too.
But these are the gifts. I mean, when people are like, life is so expensive, it's like, no, not the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, Patty, we're just about out of time, and I can't believe this hour has flown by so quickly. And I want to thank you for being on the show, and I would also like you to repeat where you can be found so that people can get your movies and see the trailer and find out more about your work.
Wonderful, thank you. We'll definitely take a peek at the trailers. It is an adventure. My website is www.pattygreer.com, and my name is PATTYGREER.com. The website's called Movies for Ascension. And I want to mention that my 2012 movie that you love and have been so nice about won the Best Feature Film Award at the UFO conference, which was really an honor, and I just showed it in Hollywood a couple weeks ago. It is just starting to get out, and I spend so much of my time editing that I'm not out there, pumping and selling.
Yeah.
And so it's wonderful that the distribution is kicking in and that all of you listening can go to my website, which, every day I'm sending movies. Today was Austria, UK, and Singapore.
Wow.
Where are these people hearing about me? And do I have time to pump where they're hearing about me? Because this is the coolest site for you guys to go to that want to know about crop circles. The cropcircleconnector.com tells you what crop circle happens everywhere in the world all day long. And this year there were 73 amazing crop circles in England and a total of 39 in the rest of the world put together.
Well, Patty, we got to go. And thank you so much for being on the show. I just adore you, and I love your movie, and I would recommend it to everybody should watch it. And when you get your new film, let me know, and I want you to come back on the show, and we'll talk about that one, too.
I would love to.
And the best of luck to you. You're just terrific.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again, Patty.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Be happy and keep your eyes to the skies.
All right.
Who knows what the party's going to throw. But for me, I don't want to do any talk of them or make movies about them and then have them follow me more, because that's not me. That doesn't interest me at all.
I agree.
It's been something where I've just gone, ew, please no.
Yeah. But you did very beautifully briefly touch upon the fact that it's going to simply be revolting.
Well, that's a dangerous statement, and I hope we don't have to revolt. I really see, all this talk of 2012, and we can call it just as profitable as Y2K, because I've got 6 months of food and water, locked in my house. Flashlight batteries, I'm good to go. Yeah. And I'm not in fear. I just want to be intelligent, swine flu epidemic.
Chemicals, and then they're cut down, and Earth has no chance to take a breather. They plant another crop, and everything is sprayed, and it just kind of it makes you open your eyes about what's going on, and I think we need that.
And that spray you're talking about is the stuff that turned into the pink foam.
That they do exist, and I liked the part where one of the presenters talks about the wheat fields, and he says, and they were so beautiful with the crop circles, and he says, I know that they're sprayed, and they're sprayed to grow, and then they're sprayed to kill bugs, and then they're sprayed to lay flat, and they're sprayed to do something else, and that they are literally covered with people have had enough of that. And it's not just that, it's the conglomeration of all of that is going on all over the world, and this constriction and monitoring of everything and interference with and control of and concealment of information. And I think that humanity is just going to reach a point where it's going to be so fed up with not knowing the truth that we're just